Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sheep Get Sheared podcast. I'm your host, Austin Creed. My friends, it's been rough looking at the news, and I figured to myself, you know what? I could pretend like I'm not looking at the news. I could pretend like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm not paying attention to anything that's going on in the world. But you know what? I just said, you know what? I'll just have some coffee on a nice Saturday, and we'll just look at the news and we'll see what's going on in the world. Because to tell you the truth, part of the reason I have not been uploading as much is the news has been incredibly depressing. If you really want to know the truth, it's been incredibly depressing and it's been really hard for me to actually get into it because they thrive on if it bleeds it leads, if it burns it earns, things that we all know. The problem is every once in a while you get sick of it. You get sick of the lies, the propaganda. If I don't know about you, but back in 2016, I actually really liked Trump, and I still do. Don't get me wrong, but the problem is he's so different this time around. It feels personal, which to an extent I understand. It is personal for him. I get that. How could it not be when they've tried to off him multiple times? Who's they, Austin? I'll let you figure it out. Do I really need to spell out for you who they is? You mean the Democrat establishment or even the billionaire class who funds both sides of the political spectrum that you call a a two-party system? Anyways, let's hop into this real quick. I just looked up news of the day. I'm gonna share my screen, and this is the kind of stuff we're dealing with here. Let's take a little look see here. Of course, Iran. The day wouldn't be complete unless we were talking about Iran, because that's the only thing that anybody cares about. To tell you the truth, I'm not a huge fan of how this war is playing out, and let me tell you why. I hate that this war is still going on for a couple reasons. One, it's we can't afford it. We can't afford this war as a country. We're bankrupt. Does no one else know how money works? If you spent your money the way that the government spends theirs, your car would be getting repossessed as you speed. There'd be a tow truck out in your front yard right now. The IRS would be calling you nonstop. Your credit cards would all be frozen, and you'd have your phone ringing off the hook, telling them that you owe this back charge, this surcharge, and your cards are frozen. Your credit's garbage, and your entire life would be screwed. You'd be filing for bankruptcy. You'd be running like Naruto down to the courthouse to file for bankruptcy. But of course, the government doesn't have to do that. They just print more money because we got taken off the gold standard a long time ago. That's the problem. That is the problem. And so when I look at how this war is being handled, and I look at guys like Mark Levin, guys like Ben Shapiro, and all they seem to want to talk about is, yes, let's go to war, even though my son's not going, I'm not going, but we should go to war. Yeah, put ground troops on there. Oh yeah, let me play the Star Spangled Banner in the background. Talk about how it's great to be an American. Meanwhile, I'm gorging myself on the money, and I'm making money probably because I'm investing in Lockheed and Boeing as I talk on the microphone. I mean, do you not see this? This is the problem. This is why I'm so cynical. This is part of the reason why I want to run for office, because this is the issue. People don't look deeper than surface level, my friends. If you listen to this show and you're listening despite the fact that I haven't uploaded as much as I have in the past, it's because you actually care about how the world works. You care about knowing that you're not alone with caring about such deep rooted issues. You realize it's not just surface level. Because surface level is meant to get your goat, meant to get you emotional. So you make an emotional decision and you do something that they can then say, well, I cashed in on that. Oh, I'm so happy. That's what it's meant to do. But a lot of you are not stupid enough to fall for it. But the problem is too many people who don't watch the show, who will listen to different commentators who are stupid and ignorant, and they think, oh, Iran shouldn't be getting a nuclear weapon, so therefore anything and everything that's happened so far is completely justified. Well, if you've been paying attention, we shouldn't have had to worry about that because they said they destroyed it, what, months ago? Was I the only one paying attention? Let's see what else we can come up with here. Unbiased news. Oh, such a thing exists? I kind of doubt that very much. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's get the whole kit and caboodle of news sources to show you that I'm not just gonna go to the Drudge Report of Fox News to get my headlines. Oh, we got the Crescent News Network. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Day 63 of the Middle East conflict. Trump considers it treasonous to say U.S. isn't winning war. Of course, they're going to say something about Trump that's negative. I don't even listen to them anymore. If you take CNN seriously, you must have an IQ that's below the temperature in your room right now that you're listening to me. BBC, I can't read their news. I can't read any headline from the BBC without thinking about something else. That's why I never listen to them. NBC, Trump says he doesn't need congressional authorization for Iran operations. Well, there is the War Powers Act that the president, I'm sure, has invoked, or if he hasn't already. Additionally, technically speaking, he's not necessarily wrong with what he's saying. Problem is, of course, Congress only cares about things when they can score political points. You don't know that, or maybe you do. But Trump should have ended the war a month ago. He should have declared victory and gotten out, in my opinion. That would have his approval ratings would have shot through the roof. Gas prices would have gone down. I don't see a negative there. How do you see a negative there? His poll numbers go up. Gas prices go down. That seems like a win to me. Iran, again, 60-day mark. Of course they're growing impatient. The American people are growing impatient. You seen the price of gasoline recently? All the people who have a Tesla are laughing all the way to the bank right now. Fox News, communist and socialist groups call for revolution. Oh, no kidding. They've been doing that for the last 100 years. What else is new? Did you forget already? All the communist revolutions that have been going on around the world? Since that despot, a guy who should have been aborted, was out there writing the Communist Manifesto, being financed by his friend's money. Calls for a revolution. No kidding. Oh, Minneapolis. Oh my God. You know, Minnesota got what they deserved by having that schmuck mayor, that schmuck governor they have up there, Tim Walz, that goofy. He would have been vice president. Guy, is it just me? In my opinion, the guy looks like he's just whacked out on something 24 hours a day. Just look at that daughter of his. Oh my land. You've seen that daughter of his, I think, what's her name? Hope or something? Out there all day talking about how she knows everything and Trump's a moron. Meanwhile, look at her father, for God's sakes. Or that mother. Remember that? Does anybody else remember that video during the Kamala campaign where Tim Walz's wife, the teacher wife, was talking about how we're turning the page. We're turning the page. I mean, we're going back to what you had because Biden was president and she was vice president for 4 years. Worst campaign slogan of all time, but whatever. They don't think things through, obviously. Trump tells Congress hostilities with Iran have terminated as yeah. You know what? Who's burned out of the war in Iran? Anybody but me? Because if you've been in the military and you know anything about how things actually work, the news doesn't tell you jack about what's actually happening. I can guarantee you the merchant marines are working around the clock to get oil tankers to the Strait of Hormuz. I can guarantee you of that. I can also guarantee you that this war is making Israel way more unpopular than they already were. And if anything, like a nuke, God forbid, or a bioweapon. No, they're not going to put nukes out there. What am I talking about? They're never going to do that. Nukes are the weapon of last resort. They'll put a bioagent, a chemical agent, before they put a nuke out there. You could take that one to the bank. Al Jazeera, I'm not going to read more Islamic propaganda. AP, Trump administration says it was war on Iran. The Kentucky Derby. Thank you. Somebody's talking about something other than Iran. Oh, thank God. Kentucky Derby. Is it wrong that I find the Kentucky Derby more interesting than Iran right now? I mean, how much can you take of Iran did this, Trump did that, he said this, 2 days later that changed. Strait of Hormuz is open and it's closed. It's open then it's closed. It's like your local bar. It's open then it's closed. It's open then it's closed. Who could keep up with this garbage? I'm more interested in the Kentucky Derby. Let's look at the Kentucky Derby for 2 seconds. I'd rather look at the Kentucky Derby than talk about Iran for 2 more minutes. Let's talk about horse betting. To me, I find that more interesting than Iran right now. I can't take this anymore. We could have easily pulled out of Iran in 2 seconds after we docked off the leadership's sons, the leadership's grandsons, and instead we're still there. Kentucky Derby, I find that more interesting than anything else, to tell you the truth. Oh, would you look at that? Chaotic week. Am I alone that I'd rather look at the betting for the horses and the names of the horses in the Kentucky Derby than learn more about the Iran war? That's everybody can't stop talking about it and pretending like the conservatives should be not stoking war as opposed to what we're actually getting. I love it. All the civilians who have never ever been in the military love war. Can anybody explain that to me? Why is that? Great White, Ocelli, and Robusta. Not bad names. Renegade. Now that's a great name for a horse. Commandment and Renegade. Those are great names for horses, by the way. Oh, here are the betting odds. Oh, thank God. Something that's actually interesting. 5-1, 15-1. Am I the only one that actually kind of wants to like just go check out these betting odds so that I can like just go for the longest shot odds possible and hope to win? I find that more entertaining than learning more about what Trump's bowel movement was today or what someone's grandma's uncle said about Iran, who's supposedly in Trump's cabinet, who's about to get fired. What's the most interesting name for the horse out of these? Renegade, Albus, Intrepido. Ooh, I like that. Intrepido. I like that. That's good. Litmus test. That's kind of funny. Commandment, Dannon Bourbon, So Happy, the Puma. What do I think of Puma socks when I think of that? Incredible. Why do I think of Mr. Incredible from the Pixar movie? Ponton, Emerging Market. What? What kind of name is that? Emerging Market is a name for a horse? Did the guy come from Wall Street? Was the guy betting on Wall Street and thought that was like a clever name for his horse with those buddies to laugh at while they're counting up what they're making on their hedge fund? Polovian, 6-speed. That's pretty good. I like that. Further ado. What are you, a French guy? Golden Tempo. What are you, a musician? Great White. Did you go surfing when you were naming your horse? Ocelli, Robusta, Coordinate. Oh, what do I think is the best out of this? I promise I'll get back to the news. I can't take. I thought this would be more interesting. Most out of the Kentucky Derby horses, who has the best name? I think that's more interesting than Iran. Indulge me for 2 seconds. It's my show. 6-speed's not bad. So Happy. What is that? What is this? Who names these things? Who comes up with this stuff? Renegade is good. Intrepido is good. Well, let me know what you think if you got made it this far. If you didn't turn off the show already, because I didn't say Trump, 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 Trump like 50 times. I'm gonna go with 6-speed. I think 6-speed is probably the best name horse-wise. All right, let's get back to the news. More Kentucky Derby. More Iran, blah, blah, blah. Why is James Comey back in the news? Okay, you know what? I'm so over James Comey. I mean, yes, the guy did some things that I think are despicable, but the guy was a Marine. Can we please leave him alone? Can we please leave the guy alone? He was a Marine. Show the man a little bit of respect for being a Marine, for God's sakes. I mean, yes, did he say things I think are despicable and he did some things that are horrible? Absolutely. And he should be held accountable for it. And I believe he largely has been. But that being said, I mean, the guy was a Marine, so please show the man at least a little bit of respect. Mayday. You know what I always found funny about the term Mayday for these commie types who think that they're celebrating the Earth? All I think is Mayday, Mayday, we're going down. That's why we're protesting. Like, they think they see the ship of state going down, and so they're the ones screaming Mayday as if they're going to save anything when they would just sink the ship and go to a paper mache boat that's parked right next door thinking that they just saved everybody. Oh, vey, what is with the news? Mayday protests. I don't. Communism has not changed. It's only changed its colors. This is the thing I don't think a lot of people get. Communism has never worked. It's that simple. I don't care how many autonomous zones you set up in Minneapolis. I don't care how many times you talk about how, well, what Marx actually said and what they actually did was different. I don't care about any of that. It's never going to work. And anybody who thinks that, oh, if we're part of the revolution and we're going to end up on top, power to the people, you think you're going to turn the pyramid over and the pyramid's going to be the rich are on the bottom and you're on the top? You must be a special kind of stupid to believe a thing like that. Truthfully. It never works that way. Why do you think the rich fund the protests? Because they are using you, you schmuck. They're using you. You think that, oh, I'm not being used. I'm part of the resistance. Resisting who? The people who are now paying you to protest or paying for you to have the things to protest? Who do you think's doing it? The people you hate. The billionaires. The millionaires. Duh. That schmuck Bernie Sanders is to blame, by the way. I blame him. He single-handedly wrecked my generation of Gen Z with all their propaganda, with all this, and millennials, with this propagandist garbage about democratic socialism. Doesn't exist. Never existed. Look at the Russian Revolution. They were all democratic socialists, so they took over the government and overnight became communists. Go figure that one out. Workers, not billionaires. Who do you think's paying you to protest, you schmuck? What a bunch of idiots. What a bunch of idiots. I don't understand how these people... How do we have such low IQ people? How do we have these people? Where do they find these people, man? Who believe this rubbish about workers of the world unite? Who believes this rubbish? Seriously. Name me one place it's worked and then I'll take it all back. And you can't. And don't talk to me about the socialist states up in the Nordic regions. Don't give me that rubbish. They live on oil money and they have like 10,000 to 1 million people tops. They don't have the population we have. It doesn't work. Let's see. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the U.S. is not at war with Iran. Oh yeah, right. Let's get hung up on semantics, Speaker Johnson, because that's gonna help everybody. Let's get hung up on semantics because that's totally gonna help the economy. That's totally gonna help people afford gas. That's great. Really brilliant move there, Mike. Love it. Kentucky Derby. Okay, you know. Oh, yeah, let's talk about sports. The bunch of juiced up athletes. I don't understand people who can get into sports. I'll watch it with my brother, with my dad, maybe with some friends, but I will never watch it by myself, ever. Why would I want to watch modern day gladiators act like idiots and get paid to throw a couple goons throwing a ball down a field? What a bunch of garbage. How do people get into it? Like, I understand you want to go to like a social event and it's just on in the background and you watch it. That I get. But like people who like have the jerseys and the stuff outside their house and the flag and the detail on their car and it's all they talk about at work. I don't understand that. Like it's their whole personality. Like you didn't have a personality, so you grew one by going to your local pub and being like, oh wow, I'm bonding with the guys watching the Seahawks or whoever, and now all of a sudden that's my whole personality now is beer and a sports team who I give them money and they know nothing about me and don't care. And I'm being actively priced out. May Day marches in Milwaukee. Oh, another bastion of freedom and democracy. Love it. Unites immigrants, workers against Trump. Oh, you mean the so-called immigrants who come here to work as opposed to come here to work the system? Now that Trump's kind of cutting back the welfare a little bit, all of a sudden they don't want to... Oh, all of a sudden they have a problem with that, huh? Meanwhile, my ancestors came here and they'd rather throw themselves off a fire escape than take welfare. What a... Ugh, goodness. You can see why I can only take this in small doses. I'm getting a migraine. Getting a migraine from listening to this garbage. At least Star Wars Day is coming up. Hey, there you go. Let's celebrate Disney and how they completely bastardized a once 80s icon franchise. That's... Oh, my land. At least there's Star Wars Day. We can look forward to that. One day where I can at least pretend that it didn't get bought by Disney. Let me see. More May Day marches. Oh, labor activists. The labor activists of today are the guys who used to go and break your kneecaps back in the days, in my opinion. They're basically loan sharks who found that they can make more money trying to fleece the government than fleece their local businessmen, in my opinion. Oh, Bay Area May Day protest. Oh, you mean all the commies who decided it's the weekend, they don't have to go to class today at Stanford, at Berkeley, so they want to go out there in the streets and talk about how my parents make more money than in 1 year than your parents will in a lifetime, but I hate the system. I was surrounded by those kind of schmucks who were like, oh yeah, man, the system sucks, but I'm gonna drive my Maserati to the protest. What a bunch of garbage. Why is it always like, can someone explain that? Why is it always like the middle class to rich people's kids who love communism, who love this propagandist garbage? Why is that? I don't, for the life of me, understand why they love it so much. You never had it so good. You're making money hand over fist, and yet you hate the system. They're just going there to get laid. That's all. They're going there to get laid. I don't want to hear none of this. They care about the people's struggles. You don't care about the people. You just want to go down there and pretend like you're down with the people and get laid while doing drugs in the gutter. Oh, let's see. Is there anything interesting in the weather? That might be more interesting than the May Day protests. Oh, hey, man, I'm telling you. No, true story. When I was in not college, high school. When I was in high school and I still lived in California, there were people that, like, now keep in mind, I went to a relatively nice high school at the time because my parents do really well for themselves. God bless them. And so when everybody started getting their cars, right? So when you're 15, 16 years old, especially back in the day, right? People will be talking about how, oh, power to the people. I hate the fact that people struggle and that people have to go without food and whatnot. Like, the classic, like they have a bleeding heart for everybody. And then I'd see them at 16, it's junior year, everybody can suddenly drive to school. And instead of driving a Prius and taking all the money and donating it to the food bank or to the Red Cross or wherever, they drive with a Maserati, they drive a GT Shelby Mustang or Tesla, you name it. And they act like, oh, I care about the people, but I also care about my ride and how people think about me at school. What a bunch of garbage. That's how you know the whole thing is. I'm sure there's some people who genuinely believe it, but most people don't fall in that category at all. Trump signs bill funding DHS after a record-breaking 76-day shutdown. Blame the Democrats. They don't want to work with Trump and then throw him under the bus. More sports. No thanks. I'm good. More May Day protests in Madison. Shocking. Oh, the Boardwalk Memorial Day weekend. Okay, we can talk about that. Oh, Decisions Day. Oh, the 2026 grads celebrate National College Decision Day. Oh, joy. I get to hear all about how the Asians and the Jewish kids and the white kids get to go to the community college while all the minorities get to go to Harvard. That's great. Love it. Absolutely love that. I don't even have to take the SAT or ACT anymore. I had to take it when I was in high school. Now I don't even need to take it no more. Let me see. Oh, Mother's Day. Oh, yes. Go out and buy flowers for your mom. Do something nice for her. Oh, boy. What else we got here? Anything of interest before I get my migraine turns into a full-blown headache and I had to turn it off? Oh, Spirit Airlines went broke. Oh, man. Well, that's disappointing. Spirit Airlines is going broke because they didn't get bailed out by the Fed. Man, I won't be able to watch those great people getting beat up in the plane or in the lobby, or people streaking or not wearing pants trying to board a plane. All of my comedy is going to be gone. Well, that's depressing. I like seeing those videos on X of the craziest, most ratchet stuff you could ever imagine is happening on Spirit Airlines. It's basically like a ghetto club, but in the sky. Oh, peaceful protests in Seattle by communists. Oh, yes. You mean the peaceful protests back during the Summer of Love when people were throwing Molotov cocktails at the police? You mean those kind of peaceful protests? Oh yeah. In other words, if it's a Democrat protest, it's peaceful. But if it's a Republican protest and one person gets into a fist fight, it's suddenly a riot. Mom Dami. Oh yes, you mean the front from the Muslim Brotherhood, in my opinion, who runs New York City now? Oh, he's talking for the union workers. Oh, great. He wants their votes. That's all. He's going to talk about how, oh, I'm here for the people, but I'm actually really freaking rich. That's great. Love it. Absolutely love that. What else we got here? Is there anything of interest? I don't want to hear anything more about the Muslim Brotherhood agent, in my opinion, who runs the city, the largest city in the United States. I don't want to listen to him. I think we've gotten most of the news today. I'm not seeing anything of note. Is anybody else seeing anything of note today? I'm not seeing it. May Day protests. Yep. Nothing of interest there. Gas prices. What did I just say? Gas prices are through the roof. As I said, of course, everybody knows that. NFL draft. If you care more about the NFL draft than you do about anything else I've talked about today, you deserve what you get. It's as simple as that. Unless you're making money off the NFL draft, why do people pay attention? Why do people care about sports so much? I'm not even trying to mock you. I genuinely want to understand it. I don't understand it at all. None. It makes no sense to me. What's this now? Delaware students celebrate 2026 statewide Arbor Day ceremony. Not interested. Workers around the world demonstrate on May Day in photos. Oh, let's look at these schmucks do their power to the people protesting salutes, thinking they're making a difference in the world. Let's see. Let's take a look. Take a look. I'll entertain it for 2 seconds. Why not? Or I'm getting bored of this already. Like, I don't understand why people think communism works. I don't understand. Do people not read books? Do people not even read the internet? Do people not listen to podcasts? Nothing? How do people think that these things actually help them? Genuinely. What difference is a protest made in support of the communist movement in America? Do these people actually believe they're going to look at these absolute putzes. Look at this. Look at these people, man. What are they actually think they're doing anything of value? Power to the workers, not the billionaires. Stop the war in Iran. Well, I can actually kind of agree with that. Money for people's needs, not the war machine. Oh, look at the you know what I notice when I look at these pictures? 90% are old white women. How embarrassing is that? Oh, things are on fire. Nice. Oh, burning an effigy of the President of the United States. Nice peaceful protest you got there. Yes, let's burn alive an effigy of Trump. Can you imagine if people did that during the Tea Party movement days for Barack Obama? How many people would be out there screaming racism? Oh, look. We have South Korea. Oh, the trade unions. Oh, hey, if they want to be communists, just go up a little north to North Korea and you'll be happier. I can guarantee it. Protesters march. Oh, look at that. It looks like a scene from The Walking Dead. Look at these people. Don't tell me I don't look like this looks like a shot from The Walking Dead. Smoke, fire, people shuffling around like they're all on drugs or drunk. My God, look at this country. Oh, yes, let's hold up a picture of Stalin. Oh, that's wonderful. Man holds up a poster of one of the biggest mass murderers in the history of the human race, Joseph Stalin, and other Russian Communist Party members to mark Labor Day and May Day. So in other words, you'll support one of the biggest mass murderers in history, but you hate Trump, who's killed nobody. In our, not like that. There's no concentration camps here. There are no work camps here. Oh my land. Oh, I'm getting tired of looking at this. I'm getting tired. This is exhausting looking at these people. I hope they're getting paid good money and they don't actually believe what they're doing. I hope they are. And then we got Mr. Recessed Chin holding an upside down American flag, thinking he's going to get laid tonight. Love it. Great. Wonderful. Then we got some badly built people. Look at this. I feel bad for this family. Look at this. This family's just trying to walk down the street, walking their baby in a stroller, and then you have all these communist scumbags walking by, looking like they're about to beat them up. What a lovely. And this is exactly what America is right now. A bunch of commie scumbags who think they speak for the people, actively obstructing the people and inconveniencing them and scaring them. Bingo. There you go. Where do they get these? Why are all these people so unattractive? Have you seen one person so far where you thought they were attractive, male or female? I haven't seen a single one. All these people are losers, weirdos, and creeps. Every one of them. Badly built people who are unhappy that they're not Elon Musk. Oh, and then we got people who look like they walked straight off the set of The Purge. Love it. Well, dude, Purge casting was down the street. You ended up in the wrong place. I think they're filming the new Purge movie two streets down, not at the protest. Go 2 streets down. National Labor's Union in Italy. Italy has one of the lowest birth rates in the entire world, and here you have all these people talking about how the union should have more money, as opposed to understanding that the unions are the ones who are getting money from the government to vote for them via lobbyists. Iraqi Communist Party. Oh, I'm sure the government would love to know all their identities so they can then treat them fairly like they do in the Muslim world. Look at that. You got a bunch of people of color and old washed up white people at these protests. Love it. Wonderful. Look at this piece of work right here. Of course, the guy looks like Sid the Sloth with a bad beard getting arrested by the police for creating a disruption. Of course. Of course. What else is new? He thought he was going to get laid by some of the commie women and then realized, oh, wait, there are consequences to my actions. Oh, I'm going to jail. Oh, man. Morocco, not interested. Oh, there we go. More May Day protests. Fight for the workers and immigrant rights. You mean the immigrants who are not working because they don't have to? You mean those people? What immigrants do you know that are overwhelmingly working right now if they don't have to? This is the one thing that's actually somewhat accurate that they've actually shown so far, which is the price of gasoline. That's the one thing I'll give them. I'll give them that. Yeah, you can make fun of them for having high gas prices. This is a fair criticism. These people think that they're like, why do these guys look like the 7 dwarves? These dudes look like they're carrying flags. They're carrying flags, but they look like they're carrying axes over their shoulders, saying hi ho, off to work we go. What is this? Tell me I ain't lying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. 7 dwarves right here. 7 dwarves with their axes. Look like their flags look like axes, and there's you gotta laugh at these things, otherwise they could depress you. I guess picture Trump and Marine One in this picture just laughing at the schmucks down below in the White House. Demonstrators demand greater labor rights in Brazil. Oh, you mean the same Brazil that had like the biggest slave population of all time? Oh, great. We got not the guy with the Chicago Bulls hat. Oh my land. There you go. Oh, Yve, man. Look at these. Look at all this Cinco de Mayo. Did you know that Trotsky lived in Mexico after he was exiled from the Soviet Union? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Trotsky lived in Mexico. That's why there's so many socialist slash communist leanings in south of the border, by the way, in case you didn't know. Because of good old Lenin Trotsky. All right, I've had enough of this. I had enough of this garbage. All right, I think that's enough. I've had enough. Let me know if you actually kind of enjoyed this. I actually kind of did. It was actually kind of fun. So let me know what you think. I think the whole thing's a bunch of garbage. The news is out of control, incredibly depressing, but we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. We'll see if anything that they're doing makes any kind of difference at all. My friends, take care of yourselves. I'm out of here. Peace out.